To me, Kathleen, you are the voice of an angel. You mean that much to me and to all those around us. We appreciate you. So here we are, another Christmas, ending of one year and the beginning of another, all within the next couple of weeks. So we have a lot to look forward to and a lot to let go of. And as was mentioned last week by Kathleen, it's a time of many, many religious celebrations. We have Hanukkah, Christmas, the winter solstice, which was practiced by many individual religions, Kwanzaa, and there's so many more, all in this particular time. So it's a holiday season, not just Christmas. A lot of people at this point in time, because of the winter solstice, think of it as the ending of a cycle and the beginning of another. As you know, tomorrow is the solstice, the 21st, the first day of winter, the shortest day of the year. And for this particular year, which is like, I think the first time in over 800 years, you have a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in the skies, where they'd be so close together, they look like they're one to us. Of course, we may not see it with the clouds the way they are, but someone I know will see it, that bright light in the sky. And supposedly they say that was the light that led the wise men to Bethlehem. It's the same thing. So it could easily be bringing in a new age, as they say. They say that tomorrow or beginning tonight, with this conjunction, is a whole new influx of new energy coming into the Earth from, they said, the galactic core of the galactic core, the sun and the galactic core. And it will bring in a tremendous amount of new energy for those who want to use this energy to elevate themselves in their consciousness, to let go of things they don't want anymore in their life, and to have the potential to find ourselves and our positive nature and bring in those things of love and light for the next year. They said it will be the beginning of the age of Aquarius, the true beginning, the actual day. Dawning of a new golden age has been predicted for this time period. And of course, for the Southern Hemisphere, it's the longest day of the year and the official beginning of summer. So just the total opposite of us. So let's begin with Christmas. It actually began around 336 AD in Rome, when the Roman Christians were trying to get more members, basically. They combined the earlier celebrated Saturnalia with trying to bring together new belief systems with the birth of Jesus, even though they didn't know the actual date of the birth of Jesus. That's still in contention. No one really knows exactly when, because it was not recorded at that time. They approximated, several different people have approximated over the centuries. And right now, they've settled on the 25th. But Saturnalia was actually a very pagan holiday. It was actually a whole week. They actually began with public drunkenness, feasting. They would sing in the streets, nude. So a lot of things, thankfully, a lot of those things have changed. They would also eat human-shaped biscuits to celebrate. And of course, that now has come down to be gingerbread men. Who know that the gingerbread men had that kind of significance? I never did. That it took us back to a pagan time. So what do we as spiritualists believe about Christmas? We believe that it celebrates the birth of the Christ itself. We all have within us the Christ self. And on this particular day, not even the day, any time of the year is a good time to do this. It doesn't have to be one day, but this is the day we celebrate being reborn into our Christ itself. So it's a new beginning for us on that day. We release the old, we bring in the new. It's a time to celebrate with Feast of Thanksgiving and celebration. We share presents with those we love to give at this time of year, but it's also to remember it's a time to receive as well. There has to be a balance between giving and receiving. And when someone gives you something, say thank you, even if you don't like it. You can always regift it to someone who can use it. Use Boxing Day, which is a couple of days after Christmas, to regift something and give it to someone else. If it's something you can't use. So there's always a chance to recirculate our energy and the time with others, to celebrate with our friends and relatives. Of course, this year with COVID, we can't necessarily do it in large groups or at church, anything like this, but we can be thankful we have this Zoom, that we have to celebrate one with the other from a distance, keeping ourselves all safe from harm, from this particular disease that we have now. It's a time of letting go and seeing within ourselves the potential, the highest potential we have. We can see that in ourselves at this time of renewal of Christmas, which is the Mass of Christ, the being birthed in the Christ self. And we can all do that any day we want to see it happening within ourselves, releasing the old, bringing in the new, a new ways of loving. Then we actually have the actual new year. And I see the new year as well, first we have New Year's Eve, and that's to be, again, we celebrate it, celebrating the past year and the releasing of the past year. I know many people will be celebrating the end of 2020 because it's been such a hard year for so many people. A lot of people are alone, and they are frightened of becoming ill. So much of isolation, mental illness at this time, especially depression, raises its ugly head so much. We can let go of that. So on New Year's Day, what do we do? It's we celebrate the beginning of this new year, the beginning of a new time period in which we can elevate our consciousness, allowing ourselves to become aware of our potential and living up to that potential for the next year. So we let go of the old and letting go of all those things that don't serve us anymore. But how do we do that? The main thing right now is to, as they say, I think it's in AA, take a rigorous inventory of yourself. What your good points are, what your bad points are, make a list of them. All your good potential, put on one side, and what things you want to get rid of in this next year. All your doubt, all your fears, all your mistrust, all that. Write it down, knowing that you can release it this coming year. And remember that we learn from the past, but we don't need to hang on to it. Bring the lessons forward and know that you don't have to repeat them again. And you have new potential with the new year. So when you have these lists available to you, or even if you do it in your mind, mentally do this. Create that list of things you no longer desire in your life. And those who you have written them down can actually take that piece of paper on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day and burn it or bury it or some way dispose of it. That way it's a physical means of letting go. So it adds energy to the letting go process. And those things of good nature, hang on to those. Put them in a safe space. all the potential that you desire that particular year coming up. Realizing though that you have to live in the now, that you take each moment as it comes. And if something negative comes up, remember, you can release it immediately. Let it go. That really should be the song for the new age. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And that's what we have to do. Let go of all that doesn't serve us and know that we have the true potential within us as a Christed one, as one who lives as Christ did, full of love and non-judgment. So it's very important that we celebrate our non-judgmental and our unconditional love potential that is within each one of us. So what do we do? We take the time each day to be thankful for what we have. That's a good way to begin. And as I mentioned before, but for Thanksgiving, thanking the God source, spirit, infinite intelligence for all that we do and all that is going to be coming to us in this new year. We see it manifested before us, and we know that as a child of God, we are worthy of all that God has to give us this year. Some of us may get some lessons. That's good. They help you learn. That's how you grow. That you learn what you can let go of. Sometimes you don't even know you need to let go of something until something comes up. And oh, that's an old thought. I need to let that go. And that way you do a self-cleansing as well. Keep your experiences positive, releasing all that no longer serves you. So celebrate the rebirth of the Christed one within you and see yourself cleansed and purified for the beginning of a new year. I have the utmost faith in every single one of you that you can live your life to its highest potential, free from fear and doubt, replacing all those fears and doubts with unconditional love and non-judgment of yourself first and in others as well. You have it within you to open up your heart to the Christed one or the God source within you. Let it permeate your physical body and all the mental, etheric bodies of yourself as well. And then also thank spirits that have passed on, your loved ones who have passed over. Be thankful for them. Celebrate their lives at this time. Give them the gift of love this Christmas. How many times do we forget those we shared with in the past? Bring them into yourself at that particular moment in time and just feel the love that you have for each and every one of these individuals. For remember, without your loved ones, your parents, you wouldn't be here. So they gave you the gift of life. Now return it by giving them the gift of love for all that they did, for what they did, even if some of it wasn't so good. They did what they knew to do or didn't know better. Let's put it that way in some cases. So we need to let go of the negative attachments to our parents or those loved ones and just concentrate on the love within each of you. Concentrate on the love that you have for yourself and others. Let yourself be that full potential this coming year. I know we can conquer this. We can let go of things that don't serve us. I know, I believe that we are one with the Spirit of God. And in doing so, we can accomplish anything we put our minds to. And we can release anything we want to release as well. Letting go creates a vacuum. And see yourself as you release, especially on New Year's Day, see yourself being filled up with all those ideas of positivity and love within you. Let go and refill with the love of God, of infinite intelligence that is within you. Thank you so much. for allowing me to speak today.